Hi everybody, welcome back to Yoga with Carlin. Today's class comes just in time for Thanksgiving. It is yoga for digestion and bloating. So we're going to be focusing on poses that specifically target the side body and the obliques, poses like twists that kind of wring out the GI tract and some of the intestinal organs. But yoga in general is a great way to alleviate bloating and different GI issues that people experience. So doing yoga regularly is a great thing if you struggle with digestion issues or bloating. We are going to use one block today, but if you don't have one, no big deal. And when you're ready, we're going to get started lying on our backs. I'll see you there. Getting started here in Shavasana, I just want you to place one hand on your belly and one hand on your heart. And one of the major ways that we can alleviate digestive issues and bloating is with our breath. Taking deep breaths to stimulate the nervous system. So breathe in deeply through the nose, filling up the belly, the chest, and the lungs. And then take your exhales out through the mouth, letting go of any stale air. Let's take 2 more breaths like that. Last one here, deepest breath in through the nose. Longest exhale out the mouth. When you're ready, just hug that right knee in towards the chest. Keep the left leg out long and give that right knee a nice big squeeze. Maybe you draw some circles with the toes or the ankle here. And switching directions. Give that right knee one more big squeeze. And then gently guide the right knee across the left leg, coming into a supine twist. Taking the right arm out longer to a cactus shape and letting your gaze follow over that right shoulder. Gently pressing down on the right knee with the left hand. And just feel this nice twist in the torso, the middle of the body. And just how we started, keep those deep breaths going. Let's take one more on this side. And then come back through center. Give that right knee one more squeeze. And then we'll switch out the legs, send the right leg out long and hug the left knee into the chest. Again, give it a squeeze, nice and tight in towards the chest. Maybe you draw those same circles with the left toes or the left ankle. And taking the circles in the opposite direction. And then when you're ready, keeping that right leg long, gently guiding that bent left knee across the right leg. Your left arm comes out longer to a cactus shape. And your right hand gently presses down on your left knee, giving yourself a little self-adjustment in this support, in this supine twist. And don't worry if your left knee doesn't touch the ground. This side's definitely a little bit tight. Focusing on getting that knee down to the ground. I'm really focusing on keeping my left shoulder down and keeping this twist in the center of my body. Deep breaths. And just take one more breath on this side. And then when you're ready, make your way back through center. Hug the left knee into the chest one more time. And then bring the right knee in to meet it. Give yourself a nice big hug, squeezing yourself into a tiny ball. Maybe just taking some rocks side to side, massaging out the low back. Keep squeezing those knees in nice and tight. Let's take one big breath here, in through the nose, out through the mouth. And then take the hands behind the thighs, cross the ankles on top of one another, and just start to take some rocks up and down the length of the mat. And start building a little bit more momentum each time you rock. Eventually building enough momentum to come into a tabletop position, stepping the legs behind you, knees underneath the hips, wrists underneath the shoulders. And we'll take some cat-cows here. On the inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze. And on the exhale, tuck the chin, round through the spine. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze. Exhale, tuck the chin, round through the spine. Take this however you'd like, so you might add or subtract any movement here. Sometimes as I come into my angry cat pose, I like to just bring it back to a child's pose, just letting the hips briefly touch the heels, and then coming back into my cow pose. Maybe you take some rocks side to side, maybe looking over the right shoulder and then over the left shoulder. When you're ready, come back to a neutral tabletop position. And we'll all lift the hips and find our first downward facing dog of class. Start to pedal out the knees, bending one leg at a time as you straighten the opposite leg. And feel the inversion quality of this downward facing dog, really trying to get those hips over the heart, reaching the heels down to the ground. And just stay in stillness for a few breaths here, really just letting the head and neck hang heavy. One more breath in your downward facing dog. And then when you're ready, start to walk the hands back towards the feet, maybe taking a bend into the knees and meeting in a ragdoll position here, making sure the feet are hips width distance apart. Knees are very much bent so that the chest can rest on the thighs. Grab onto opposite elbows, tuck the chin to the chest, and just let everything hang heavy. Really important here that we keep that chest to thigh connection. You can start to straighten through the legs, but if you lose that chest to thigh connection as you do that, just bend back into the knees. We'll have chances in class to go into deeper forward folds. So just let this one be easy and supportive. And take your last breath here. And then we'll take this ragdoll into a twist, planting the left fingertips right underneath the face, bending the left leg, straightening the right leg, using that right hand to open the right shoulder, and then reaching the right arm up to the sky. Maybe you take that right hand to the right rib cage, twist yourself open a little bit deeper. Also feeling a nice deep stretch in the right IT band. Take 3 breaths here. Last breath. And then we'll switch out the sides. Take the right fingertips down to the ground. Bend the right knee, straighten the left leg. Take that left hand to the left shoulder, open it up, and then take the left fingertips up to the sky. Maybe you give yourself that second self-adjustment, taking the left hand to the left rib cage and just gently opening yourself up even further. 2 more breaths here. Last breath. And then when you're ready, bring both hands back down to the ground. Bend the knees enough to take the palms flat on the ground. And just start to walk yourself back out to your downward facing dog. And from your downward facing dog, take an inhale, lift the right fingertip. Those are your toes. Lift the right toes up to the sky. Inhale here. And then exhale, curl the right knee in. Step the right foot behind the right wrist. Drop the back knee and inhale to come into your low lunge. Take a couple nice breaths here. And then we'll take this into a side body lean. Just let the right hand fall off to the right side and lift the left fingertips up and over the head, stretching out the left side body, the left obliques. Reaching those right fingertips down towards the ground, but they don't have to touch. Ooh, lost my balance there. And you can stay in this twist, in this side body bend rather, or you can take this into a twist, taking the left elbow all the way around to the outer right thigh, bringing hands to heart center and twisting over to your right. Now to assist yourself in this twist, sometimes I like to make a fist with my left hand and press my right hand down into that fist. Sometimes allows me to twist a little bit deeper. 2 more breaths, whether you're in your side body bend or your twist. Either way, you're squeezing your inner thighs together for stability. When you're ready, come back through center, take the hands to frame the front foot, and then start to straighten through that right leg, folding over top of it. Bend the right knee as much as you can to again try and create that chest to thigh connection. Think about reaching the nose towards the shin, pulling the right hip back and the left hip forward. We'll just take 2 more breaths here. And then when you're ready, start to bend back into that right knee, walking the hands forward, and we'll just step it right back to a downward facing dog. And from our downward facing dog, we'll take that right to the other side, taking an inhale to lift the left fingertips up to the sky. And on your exhale, curling the left knee slowly in towards the nose, and then stepping that left foot behind the left wrist, dropping the back knee, and inhaling up into your low crescent lunge. And from here, we'll take that side body stretch, drop the left fingertips down towards the ground, and start to reach the right fingertip up and over the head. Feel that stretch all along the right side body and the right obliques. And you can keep this as a side body bend, or you can take it all the way into a twist, taking that right elbow to the outer left thigh, bringing your hands to heart center. And then maybe you make a fist with the right hand, pressing the left hand down into the right fist. Twisting a little bit deeper for 2 more breaths. Squeeze the inner thighs together. When you're ready, come back through center. Take the hands to frame the left foot and start to straighten through that left leg, folding over top of it in your half split. Again, keep that left knee bent as much as you need to in order to create that chest to thigh connection. Just 2 breaths here. And then when you're ready, start to bend back into that left knee, and then we'll just step it right back to our downward facing dog. Make sure your block is at the top of your mat because we will need it for our next sequence. When you're ready, inhale, lift the right leg up to the sky. Exhale again, nice and slow. Right knee comes in towards the chest, towards the nose, and then eventually steps behind the right wrist. This time we'll stay in a high crescent lunge with the left knee lifted. Stay here. Let's find one more side body stretch. Take the right hand to grab the left wrist. And again, just take a gentle side body lean to the right. And then when you're ready, come back through center. Take that left hand directly out in front of you so your thumb is in line with your nose. And then take the right hand to meet it. And almost like you're pulling a bow and arrow, start to take that right hand along the left arm, past the right shoulder, and eventually all the way back towards the back of the room. And this twist. Keep squeezing the inner thighs together. One more breath here. And then when you're ready, come back through center. Take the right arm out in front of you. And then take the hands to frame the right foot. Step the left foot in a little bit closer. Straighten both of the legs for your pyramid pose. Just a little transition here, folding forward. And in this next pose, I like to have a little bit more height. It makes it easier for me to twist open. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab my block. I'm gonna take it to the highest height right outside of my right foot. Taking my left, I'm just starting to take my body over towards the right side. When I'm ready, I'll take my right hand to my right shoulder, open it up, maybe open up that right rib cage as well, and then eventually reach the right fingertips up to the sky. If you don't have a block here, you can do this without the block. You can also keep a bend in the right knee to make this a little bit more accessible. This is a tough pose, so keep deep breathing. Pulling your right hip back. We're going to hold here, breathing deeply for 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1. Gently make your way back through center. Remove the block. Step that left foot back and reach the right toes. I don't know why I keep doing that. Up to the sky. And then we'll take this into a pigeon pose. Take the right knee towards the right wrist, the right foot towards the left wrist, and settle into your resting pigeon pose. So maybe you start upright, maybe you come down. This doesn't necessarily fit with our theme of bloating and digestion, but I always love a good pigeon pose. And from here, we will transition to another twist. So just take a couple deep breaths before we go there. Last breath here. And keeping your legs in this pigeon pose, start to come up onto the fingertips and walk the hands in towards the center of the body. And then from here, transfer all of your weight into your right hip and gently take that left leg, swing it around, bring the left foot to the outside of the right knee. Take an inhale here. And on your exhale, twist over to the left. Focus on keeping the spine nice and long. Every time you inhale, feel that spine elongate. And every time you exhale, twist just a little bit deeper. One more inhale here. Stay for your exhale. And at the bottom of your exhale, just come back through center. Take the hands down to the ground and step yourself right back to your downward facing dog. And we'll take that all on the other side. So make sure your block is at the top of the mat. Inhale, lift the left toes. Oh my gosh, up to the sky. Take an inhale here. And on your exhale, start to bring that left knee in towards the chest, in towards the nose, eventually stepping it behind the left wrist and inhaling to come up into your high crescent lunge. Take a breath here to get started. And we'll take that same side body stretch, take the left hand to the right wrist, and gently take a side body lean to the left side. On your next inhale, come back through center. Take that hand out in front of you with the palm open so that the nose and the thumb are in line with each other. And then from here, bring your left hand to meet it. Back a bow and arrow, take that left hand all the way down the right arm. Open up that left shoulder and take the left hand back behind you. Keep bending into the left knee. Squeezing the inner thighs together and pulling the left hip back. 2 more deep breaths here. Last one. And then when you're ready, take that left hand back out in front of you, and then take the hands to frame the outside of the left foot. Taking the right foot in a couple inches, straightening both legs, and folding into your pyramid pose. And then from here, we're gonna set up for our revolved pyramid pose by taking that block, move it to the highest height, taking it to the outside of my left foot. And as I press my right hand down into the mat, I'm eventually gonna open up with my left hand, use it to open up that shoulder, open up that left rib cage, pull the belly button into the spine, and then reach the left fingertips up to the sky. Again, you can do this without a block. Take any adjustments you need. We're gonna be here for 5, 4 deep breaths, 3, 2, on 1, gently make your way back through center. Whew, that felt good. Take the block back out in front of you, and then step the right toes back and lift the left foot up towards the sky. Taking an inhale here before transitioning into our pigeon pose. Left foot to right wrist. I'm gonna take my right knee back, staying upright for just a breath, and then settling into my resting pigeon pose. Just another 2 breaths here. You know where we're headed, into that twist on the other side. When you're ready, keep the pigeon-shaped legs. Just come up onto the fingertips and eventually start to walk them in towards the center of the body, coming upright in your pigeon pose. And then taking all of your weight into your left hip, and gently taking that right leg around. Step the right foot outside of the left knee. Take an inhale, reach the fingertips up to the sky. And on your exhale, twist to the left. The right, that is the right. Hugging that right knee in towards center. And taking your gaze behind your right shoulder if it's comfortable. And again, each time you inhale, feel the spine lengthening. And each time I'll try and twist just a little bit deeper. Twist is coming from the torso. One more breath here. Staying for the exhale, and then gently coming back through center, taking both of the legs out in front of you, and we'll set up for a forward fold here. Knees can be bent or legs can be completely straight. Inhale, reach the fingertips up to the sky, and on your exhale, just gently fold forward. Now, if your hands are comfortably touching your feet, you can take this into sort of a twisted variation by taking the left hand to the outside of the right foot and then reaching the right arm behind you. You'll feel this twisting motion in the center of the body, but you'll also feel a nice stretch again in your IT band. And then let's take that to the other side. This time you'll take the right hand to the outside of the left foot and reach the left fingertips back behind you. Sort of awkward, sort of funky, but we get that twisting motion. And again, we also get that IT band stretch, which is especially amazing for runners. Gently make your way back into your forward fold, just folding at center. And then when you're ready, come back up to a seated position, and we'll make our way all the way down to our backs. When you arrive, you can take the feet to the mat. We're gonna set up for a bridge pose. So the feet should be flat on the ground, and you should just barely be able to graze the heels with the fingertips, feet hips width distance apart. Hands and heels press down into the mat. And on your inhale, lift the hips up to the sky. We're going to stay here for a couple breaths. You do have a block, some of you. So if you want, you can make this more restorative by sticking the block right underneath your sacrum. You can always interlace the hands, squeezing the shoulder blades together, lifting a little bit higher. We're just here for 3, for 2. On 1, slowly make your way back down to the mat. Take the feet out wide and windshield wiper the legs side to side. Roll onto either your right or your left side, using one of your biceps as a pillow. Just come to the fetal position and take a couple breaths here. Notice any differences in the body. And then when you're ready, press into either your left or your right hand and start to make your way up to a seated position. And when you arrive in that seated position, we're going to end class seated today with some deep breaths. I'm actually going to use my block. I'm going to sit up on my block so that it is nice way to get my hips nice and aligned and sit up nice and tall. Just going to rest my hands on my thighs here. And we'll end by taking 10 deep breaths together. Again, we'll take these breaths in through the nose, feel the belly fill up, and then we'll exhale out through the mouth. Belly button pulls in towards the spine. Let's begin. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Breathe in. Let go. Breathe in. Let go. 5 more. Three more. Not sure how I lost track with just 3 breaths left, but let's take one more together here, breathing in through the nose. Exhale, sigh it out. When you're ready, blink the eyes open, bring the hands to heart center. Thank you all so much for practicing with me. Make sure to leave a comment below. Tell me how you liked class. Tell me what you'd like to see next time. And please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and follow me on Instagram at Calm with Carlin. I'll see you next time. Namaste.